The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
By tomorrow, I will rule the world!
You think he's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone!
Is this some radical new therapy?
You see?
Well, I must have not been paying attention when you were just talking.
Are you ready, Tom?
Just once I want to be prepared. I could prepare 8 hours for this show and still not be ready when we go.
I know. Always remember, sponsors go first. Sponsors go first.
This time we really got them.
Get the popcorn ready.
Get the popcorn.
That's exactly what he said, too.
Diddler Debo Brown was on Facebook yesterday doing a live video. This time we've really got him. I'm like,
What did he say? Writing in black and white or
I'm
something?
like, wait, where have I heard that before? This time we really have him get your popcorn. I've heard that somewhere. Do you remember hearing that somewhere?
Yes, I did.
I remember like Tom Duggan was going to prison and the Valley Patriots and illegal business and Diana DeZoglio was going to prison. This time they're really going down. Remember that?
Get
That was
the popcorn
hilarious.
ready.
Get the popcorn.
You know what I call them now? The usual suspects. They're all the usual
Can you
suspects.
pull me up like a lot?
Your
I can,
ears?
I can barely hear myself. That's
What
good.
about
That's
now?
good right there. That's good.
That's too much? That's
Yep.
good? Okay.
Yeah, this time we really got. This time, and I got Junior Diaz on my show. By the way, he's not a bad guy. He's just crazy. No, he's
Yeah.
not crazy. He's filled with hate. He hates Brian so much that
He says he likes you.
Well, no, we get along. Like we agree to disagree.
Oh, okay.
But
But he hates me. I don't know why.
Every day it's,
Don't care.
this time we've got the goods on Brian. Did you see what happened? He drank coffee and he put milk in it, but he said he uses cream. We have video of him saying he uses cream. This time we've really got him. And every day it's a steady drum beat.
Ba, 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 ba.
We'll get her on the second round. The first one's a warm-up.
We have a special guest today.
Special guest. Wow, she looks great,
You want to
too.
say hi?
Not yet. No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's a big,
So it's a secret?
wait till you guys see how great she looks today. It's amazing.
I know. I love the cheetah. Very pretty.
Well, she just got back from Africa.
No way.
Yeah, she was in Africa. She was sending me videos of the sun setting.
Where?
Over
Ghana?
the desert and giraffes running by. It was
Ghana,
amazing.
Nigeria, Congo, what? Tanzania. That's where Freddie Mercury was born, I think.
Ba, ba, ba.
Oh yeah, I went to his house.
Really?
Oh, yeah, during the
Ba,
tour.
ba, ba, ba.
You got her that time.
Yeah, that's where he was born.
All right.
Aw, Freddie Mercury.
Man, we got so much to get to today. This could be a 4.5-hour show today.
No,
Just
you
don't
promised her an hour.
I love it. No, I love the Latino note. No, Take
Because-
37 syllables to that one word.
Because.
All right, let's get this show on the road. What do you think, huh?
Yes.
Huh? What do you think?
Yeah.
Hi, how you guys doing? My name's Tom Duggan here at the Paying Attention Podcast, high atop the Golden Seal Apothecary, downtown North Andover at the NCAM Studios, right across the street from the plush and luxurious Valley Patriot offices. And we've got a really interesting show for you today. There is only one other regular show before the election, and that will be next Thursday. However, next, we'll do the sponsors because you're not ready to pull that up, right? All right, let's get to the sponsors real quick. Century 21, McLennan Real Estate, the Zanny Pesci,
Sachet, I think she said.
Law Office. The mayor actually introduced her last night at the Irish Cottage.
Who, Brian?
No, the mayor of Methuen.
Oh, okay.
Brian should be the mayor of Methuen.
Right.
That's another whole story. Marston and Son Construction, EIS, investigation and gun training. Are you going for your gun license?
I am. I
Good
have
for
some
you.
really good news soon. So.
Every woman that I talk to, whenever this conversation comes up, I tell them, get a gun license. I was telling that to Janilda yesterday, and I was talking. Octavian Spanner joined us the other night over at Alejandro's after everybody left, and he came in with a couple of ladies, and we were talking about guns and gun rights. And I said to both of them, get your gun license. Every woman I know, and I tell them, get your gun license, because someday, God forbid, you've got a stalker. If you want to wait 6 months to be able to get a gun to defend yourself, you can get a gun license and not buy a gun. So you should get every woman. Listen, especially if you live in Methuen. Scott McNamara is not an anti-gun chief,
Okay.
right? So there are chiefs, Drake chief, the Lowell chief, the anti-gun chiefs. Very hard to get a gun in those communities. In Methuen, in North Andover, they are not anti-gun chiefs. And if you apply now while you've got a good chief in there that's not anti-Second Amendment, you'll be able to get your gun license. And then, God forbid, 3 years from now, some guy's stalking you, or you're having a problem, or you're breaking up with your boyfriend or your husband, and there's an issue, and you feel like you need to protect yourself, with that gun license, you can go right to a gun store, and you can buy a gun, and you don't have to wait 6 weeks to get it, right? I mean, it's crazy the way we stop women from being able to protect themselves in the state of Massachusetts. But here we are. So EIS, Investigation and Gun Training, they'll give you your class so you can get your license. Tomo and Shaken Seafood, Clear Path for Veterans, New England, AFC Urgent Care, Pleasant Valley Landscaping Contractors, and we saw Dave Idconsoli last night. Dave Idconsoli. He sat at my table at Jana Zani Pesce.
It means fish in Italian.
Pesce. She does this.
I know, she's pesce.
Like, I don't know why do Italians have to do this? I have a theory, but I can't say it on the air. David was sitting with us, and he said, Tom, stop telling people that I'm mad at you. He goes, because every time you say on your show, I think Dave's mad at me, I get like bombarded with phone calls from people going, why are you mad at Tom? So.
But we missed him at the bash.
He's got to. I wish we could have him in before the election.
He needs to buy a whole table for the bash.
He does. He's got to make up for last year. Who else? Where are we? Prime Insurance at Doug Mercurio loves. Very quiet, Doug. I haven't seen him in the last week on Facebook doing stuff.
He posted something today really funny.
What did he do?
There's a lady in front of Market Basket gave birth in Lawrence.
Oh, yeah? Oh, really?
And he said things are going so crazy right now that everything's expensive that you can no longer give birth at Stop and Shop. You got to give birth at Market Basket.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
How do you give birth so fast, though? I never heard of that before.
Oh, my goodness. Who else do we have? I don't know, we got rid of them. W3ON, I saw Dave Di last night. He also sat at our table. 4-star lighting, a free shout-out to JG's Ice Cream because the Giuffrida brothers do so much for the community. And by the way, it doesn't matter what the weather is outside. It's always a good time for JG's Ice Cream because it really is awesome.
I love ice cream when it's really cold and snowing.
Really?
Yeah.
A free shout-out to Paul Lambert. And then we got some candidates who are advertising with us. Ryan DeZoglio, City Councilor at large for Methuen. Juan DeSantos, also City Council at large. John Drew, City Council at large in Methuen. Frank Cirillo, City Council at large in Methuen. Luis
Robles.
It's so sexy.
For school committee in Lawrence.
It's unbelievable. Say it again.
Luis Robles.
Oh, my God. That's the end of the show, kids. I got to go. Jesus. Labor's Union Local 175. Jana Zani Pesci. Who else did we leave out?
Did you say Ryan DeZoglio
I said Ryan, yeah.
Let me see who else. I think
Jim Saucione starts today, I think, too.
Yes.
Oh, and Total Mortgage, our buddy Marie Thibodeau.
Yeah,
she's trying to buy tickets to Randy's event tomorrow night.
Okay.
Do we have that? Let's throw that in real quick.
Hold on.
So there's an event tomorrow night, and I only wish Randy had brought me and Daryl Silva in early to promote this and to plan it. But it's Tales from the Bronx. I don't know if you guys saw one of the best movies ever made, even though it was made by Robert De Niro.
When he was still good.
When he was still sane. Yeah. Tales from the Bronx, one of the best movies ever made, and it's about a young Italian kid growing up, I believe, in Brooklyn in New York, and he falls in love with a black girl, and this is like in the 70s.
Brooklyn or the Bronx?
I said Brooklyn, but I mean the Bronx, because it's right there on the screen.
Two different.
Right.
Girls.
It's like when I say Martha and I mean Mary Beth, and we're going to talk about that a little bit real quick too. But anyways, it's about a young Italian kid growing up in an Italian neighborhood in the Bronx, and he falls in love with a young black girl, and all of the problems that entails. And I think it was the 70s or 80s was the time setting for that.
Yeah, I believe so. He beats up his.
So tomorrow night, all the money is going to go to homeless veterans. And here's the thing, Randy got smart. So he knows that when we do the bash, if people want to sponsor a veteran table or a veteran seat, they can pay for a veteran's table or veteran's seat, and it helps us to raise money for our scholarships. So he says, if you want to sponsor this and you can't come tomorrow, you want to sponsor a table or a seat, and the tables he knocked down to $800 for the veterans.
Okay.
Then he's got veterans that want to come that can't afford it because this is $125 for a ticket. So if you want to sponsor this for $125, you can sponsor this event. The phone number's at the bottom. We'll post it in the comments here.
Yeah.
And that's tomorrow night at Salvatore's. There'll be dinner. There'll be
dinner. I was going to ask.
There'll be a little Q&A with Lilo. I interviewed Lilo Brancato. You can pull that down. I interviewed Lilo Brancato on this program. He showed up one day, like randomly, just showed up with Randy in the middle of my show. and I interviewed him for 2 hours, and then we sat with him for another hour after we went off the air.
He's a recovering addict too, I think. Right? He has a great story.
The life this guy lived, he was playing Frisbee on a beach, and some guy walked over to him and said, "Hey, want to be in a movie?" And that's how he became a movie star.
Really?
Yeah, and so,
Why can that happen nowadays?
Right?
It's because I'm home all the time. That's why they don't see me, you know?
Yep.
Well, let's say hi to our people really quick before we move on. We have Boogie J. She said, hey. Boogie J. Yeah, that's the name. Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Marie Thibodeau,
she's here.
Patrick Ord. We have Ricky Andrade. Hi, Ricky. Or is it Andrade?
Got me. Oh, that's the guy that plays Elvis. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, and then we have Jaina, and she said the Bronx Tale.
It's Jaina.
Jaina, how do you say your name?
It's Jaina.
Well, she's going to write it.
Well, when I hang out with her and Jana Di Natale, it's Jana and Jaina. And so I'm always interchanging them. So every time I say one of their name, they think I'm talking about the other one, and they both yell at the same time, "It's Jaina!"
Jaina.
So that's what that's.
Spanish is Hannah, right?
Hannah? Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
if you were to read it.
Right.
Hannah.
Okay, we're killing too much time. Okay, we got some things we got to talk about. Let's see. Where do we go? Real quick. I want to thank all the Democrats who are watching, who are supporting the government shutdown. This is the greatest thing that every Republican has ever been asking for the last 100 years. The fact that they've shut down the government is awesome because it gives the president the opportunity to start cutting 50% of the Department of Education, 50% of the Department of Interior, all these government agencies that don't do anything. And we would never be able to do it if the government was open. But since it's closed, he has to cut in order to make up some of the money that's not available. So
how come they're blaming him though for the closing? Makes no sense.
Well, because that's what they do. They're cowards. They don't ever take responsibility for what they do. What else do we have? We did the Bronx Tale. Oh, real quick. So in Lawrence, the newest, this time we've really got him. Lawrence Mayor Brian DePena sent a cease and desist order to 4 members of the community.
Finally.
I was under the impression when I first saw it, because I refused to read the Eagle Tribune, that this was something that went before a judge, and the judge ordered it. It's not. It's just a letter from his lawyers telling them to knock it off. Quite frankly, I'm shocked that he didn't do this before.
I've been saying that this is going to hurt him a little bit, I think.
Well, it's going to hurt him politically for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what do you do when you're an elected official and you have 4 or 5 members of the community accusing you of assaulting people, stealing money? It's constant slander. So
calling him a criminal. I've seen things they post. He's a criminal.
Julissa Nunez, the guy that Manny Gonzalez defended on this program. By the way, do you know that I was seconds away? You know this because we talked about it.
Yeah.
But those at home, I was seconds away from endorsing Manny the Thursday before the primary. He was here. Yeah. He was my last guest before the primary election. And I said, "Oh, and before we go," and he stopped me. And he said, "Before you say that, can I just say one more thing?" And he spent 5 minutes defending Julissa Nunez. And I sat there like, are you effing kidding me? Like, I'm seconds away from endorsing you. You pull that crap on my show? You're going to defend someone like that? So that's, by the way, that's the reason why I've stayed neutral.
Can you respond to people that say that you hate on her for whatever reason?
I hate on who?
On Julissa. Can you just explain what the difference is of you and someone like her?
Well, I'm a journalist, and she pretends to be a journalist. Yeah. And I love Altagracia Maggi. I do. I love her. I know a lot of people get mad when I say
she's cute. You say that because she's cute.
No, she's not cute.
And you don't know what she says because she's in Spanish. That's why.
She's not cute. But I think that there's value in having a naysayer in the community. There's a value to having somebody.
She's not a naysayer. She's repeating what they say. She calls him corrupt. She says that he does things. And she's not right. And she's been sued before for defamation, too.
Did she lose?
I don't know how that's going. Still in the process. I can't say because he's my friend.
Okay.
But she did defame somebody.
Because I got sued for defamation 8 times, but I've won every case.
Well, this one is,
still pending.
Yeah. She hasn't brought him up again. She's very careful with him.
But what I'm saying is that I like her, and I agree with some of the things that she says. But the problem is that first she calls herself a journalist. You're not a journalist if you can't present news in an objective way. That's what journalism is. The other thing is that she's just like the guy Junior Diaz that comes on my show. Everything Brian says is wrong. He drinks his coffee wrong in the morning. He puts his socks on wrong in the morning. And when you're constantly calling someone a crook, accusing people of assaulting people, when you're making legal claims like that, that's defamation. Yeah. And so I think Brian has just finally had enough. and he sent letters to these people saying, listen, if you don't knock it off, I am going to sue you for slander. I wouldn't have gone that route. I wish he had asked me. I wish he had talked to me before he did that. I wish Octavian or Andrea had called me and asked me, because I would have advised them not to do it that way. I would have advised them to do it 6 months ago.
Yeah,
To put them on notice. But 2 weeks before an election, that's a political loser for you.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to move the needle? I don't think it's going to move the needle. Is it going to change the outcome of the election? I don't think so. I will say, and I know that the Brian DePena people get very mad when I say this.
But they never attack you.
Who?
The Brian people. I don't see them on Facebook.
No, they don't.
attacking you.
Well, they don't on Facebook, but you should see the text messages I get.
Oh, really?
Every time I share something from Manny Gonzalez, I get the crap.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Interesting.
I get the crap kicked out of me. But I will say that if you had asked me 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I would have said 70-30 Brian's going to win. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's 50-50. I think Manny's got not only a shot, but a good shot. I think if the election was today, Brian would probably lose. But he's got 2 weeks to turn it around. He's got to work hard.
But why? What do you think that is?
Well, it's a combination of things. So things cascade, right? You had the Paul Tucker pulled back his endorsement. Mm-hmm. Very disappointed by that.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's a district attorney whose whole life is you're innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah.
And on an accusation, he pulled his endorsement from the mayor.
It's because of the noise. It's because of all the noise.
Well, that's it. So Coppinger was getting phone calls left and right. Laurie Trahan's getting phone calls left and right. We see who the cowards are, right? Mm-hmm. We see who ran away the minute there was a little pressure, and then people like Laurie Trahan, who I've never liked, who I now have respect for, because they're calling her every day, and she's saying, listen, I gave my word, I'm keeping my word. I mean, how do you not respect that, right?
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? We did that.
Methuen schools?
Well, yes. We have one quick thing on the Methuen schools. Do you remember, was it last week did we do this, or 2 weeks ago? When we talked about the Methuen School Committee. Remember, folks, last week when we brought in the video of Methuen School Committee members and members of the public crying and whining. They're trying to ban books. Remember, Kelsey Shabilia had to pull her car over and cry because the president won't let kids sexually mutilate themselves anymore. Remember all of that? We did a whole show on it. Remember that last week?
Yes. And
everybody get up at the microphone and said, those who are trying to ban this book, which, by the way, nobody was trying to ban any book. That wasn't even on the agenda. But those who are trying to ban this book should read this book. Well, guess what I did after all that? After it was all done and we did a whole show on it, guess what I did?
What?
I went out and I got the book.
Really?
And I read the book. And so starting today, Oppression Man update. We have an Oppression Man update.
We need an ad here for Oppression Man.
We need like a sound effect. Dun,
I got
dun,
it.
dun.
I'll do something. I'll figure something out.
So as I'm going through this book, wow, the things that I'm finding. The passage that we read on this show last week about masturbation that's being pushed in the schools in Methuen to kids by perverted teachers like Miss McLeod, who got up there and told us that we should reevaluate ourselves for not wanting kids to read this book. There's something wrong with us, she said. The more I read, the more I realized that whole masturbation passage in that book is the least offensive thing in that book. How about, can you pull that up?
Yeah.
You want to see what's being read out loud to children? This is what's being read out loud, by the way, not just by teachers, but they have children, kids in the schools going paragraph for paragraph, reading out loud. So they're reading this out loud. And I want you to pay attention to the paragraph, the sentence that said, did you know Indians are living proof that the N-word, fuck buffalo? Okay? This is what's in that book, The Chocolate Diary of an Indian Scavenger, whatever.
The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian.
I was trying not to say the actual name of the book.
Oh,
I was trying not to promote it.
I thought you were being funny.
No,
Sorry.
I was being funny, but I was trying not to. In fact, had I realized it was at the bottom, I would have cut that off.
Oh, okay.
But this is the book that they got up, and over and over they said, in fact, Mary Beth Donovan, yeah, you can pull it down. Mary Beth Donovan, who's a member of the school committee, actually said out loud, like she didn't just say it in her head and go, yeah, I shouldn't say that. She said it out loud. This is the best book I have ever read. A school board member who is promoting that white teachers read out loud to white children in a white school district, in a white school from lily white neighborhoods, the N-word out loud in a classroom. If Tom Duggan did that, there'd be a civil rights violation.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be up on charges by the Department of Justice. If your neighbor came over and read that paragraph to your kid who was playing in the yard, the cops would get called. But somehow it's okay in a school. By the way, I've got 8 other pages that I'm going to bring in. I'm going to bring one a week. I'm going to come in with an Oppression Man update, and we're going to read what it is that the kids in Methuen are reading, and what the teachers and the school board members, with the exception of Kristen Maxwell and Ken Willett, the other school board members, who and on a good day Ryan DeZoglio, but Dan Shabilia and Mary Beth Donovan and Laurie Keegan. Miss Perversal. Is it Laurie or Larry? I'm still not sure.
Isn't it Laurie?
Is it Laurie? I'm still not sure. But this is the material that they not only want your kids to read, but they're willing to die on that hill. They are fighting. They had a 2-hour public participation where they just descended on this one parent who complained about this book. And so if you're voting in the west end of Methuen for city council, Dan Shabilia wants to be your city council. If this is what he's doing to your kids on the school committee, imagine what he's doing when he becomes a city council. Just imagine. And Mary Beth Donovan, who I actually was telling people to vote for up until she ambushed another school board member and made the comment, given Tom's past, he's the last person in the world that should be talking about perverts. Okay? I endorsed her, and this is what she's telling people behind my back. So now I'm thinking, she's the one that got up at this meeting and said, this is the best book, not the Iliad and the Odyssey, not Midsummer Night's Tale, not Romeo and Juliet, but this book, the book that has the N-word in it, masturbation passages, and by the way, a whole lot more.
That looks like racism. They talk about Indians, right?
Stay tuned for next week's passage, because next week's passage is even worse. All right, we have a debate coming up. You want to pull it up real quick, then we can get to our guest? So we have a debate next Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Hold on.
Here, it's 7 p.m. Tuesday the 28th, I think it's the 28th.
Check.
Yes, Tuesday the 28th. We have a debate right here at the NCAM studios of the at-large city council candidates. It's the one with the collage of all the people.
This one, right?
Right. So
Okay.
these are your 6 candidates. 3 are going to get elected. You have 2 incumbents. Somebody asked me last night, what does the little star mean? That means they're already on the council. So Jana Zani Pesci. You have to picture me doing this with my fingers. Pesh. Yeah. Frank Cirillo, Jim Sarcione, John Drew, Ryan DeZoglio, and Wanda Santos. And I left out Wanda's name at the beginning of the show. She's also sponsoring today's show. All 6 of these candidates are sponsoring today's show. Just to let everybody know.
So is John Drew already a sitting?
No.
He's not on the.
No.
So
you would think he is.
Who left? Nick?
So Nick DeZoglio is termed out.
Oh, I thought he was.
Yeah, so Ryan is termed out on the school committee. Nick is termed out on the city council. They're going to swap.
Got it.
Right? And because their name is DeZoglio, they're both probably going to top the ticket.
I need a third vote. I don't know who to vote for. I have these two.
Who are your two candidates?
Jana and John Drew.
Jana and John Drew. All right, we'll talk off the air.
Okay.
We'll talk off the air. All right. I want to make sure I get everything. I do have an issue of voter fraud in Methuen, and should I talk about it with my guest or should I preview it first? So, because
You're alone right now.
All right. So all I'm hearing from the Methuen mayor is his whining about voter fraud in Lawrence and trashing the city of Lawrence about voter fraud and corruption. Blah 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 blah. He should stay in his own lane. He should, by the way, keep his word. But second of all, he should stay in his own lane and worry about Methuen. But I understand it. I didn't see it. I'm going to ask my guest. I understand that he made some comments at the last city council meeting about corruption, voter fraud, Lawrence. Again, he should be staying in his own lane. If he had a candidate running against him that wasn't a left-wing lunatic, crazy person, speaking at the No Kings rallies, who had $9 in the bank. If he had a viable candidate against him, man, I'll tell you, this would be so different right now.
Yeah.
This would be so different. Unfortunately, there's no real competition for him. And I think he tries. But Do we have that other thing that I gave you? We have. So I got, for some reason, I don't know why nobody's talking about this, but there's a letter that went out from Councilor Nellie Soto, who, by the way, I think is a really good counselor. She's not been on the show because she's never picked up the phone and called me about anything. But this letter that went out from her, and it's extensive. It's a 2-page letter, but I want you to pay attention to number 2. So this is a letter about voter fraud in Methuen. You know, while DJ Beauregard's attacking people in Lawrence about voter fraud, look what's going on under his nose. Multiple constituents report the poll workers told voters they, quote, must choose 2 candidates. And she has attached the messages that she received. If accurate, this is false and unacceptable. And by the way, the top thing says, residents have received mail-in ballots instructions listing deadlines of 8 p.m. March 5th, 2024, which is, I don't know, last year. This is plainly wrong for the current election cycle and risks disenfranchising of voters. I hate that language, but it is what it is. And then this goes on for another page and a half about what corrective measures she thinks need to be. So and I'm trying not to be mean to DJ because I'm a little miffed right now with him. But I'm giving him a chance. I'm trying to give him a chance to do the right thing. But here's my advice. Here's my friendly advice. It's still friendly, by the way. As of right now, it's still friendly. We're moving in another direction now. My friendly advice is this. Take care of your own house. Worry about your own community. Worry about the mayor's office in Methuen. Stop worrying about and talking about what's going on in Lawrence. Stop worrying about and talking about what your campaign people are telling you about the fraud in Lawrence.
Yeah.
I get that your campaign manager is the same campaign manager as Manny Gonzalez. So I get that they're feeding you information. But remember, you're getting one side. You're getting the side of a candidate because your manager and his manager are the same person.
It tells me you don't really have your own personality, right?
Well, what it tells me is that because he has a weak candidate running against him, that he has time to fool around in another community. He has time to think about and worry about and be convinced about another community when he should be worried about the Searles building and he should be worried about what's going on in our schools. By the way, DJ Beauregard was all for what I just told you. DJ Beauregard defended the passage that you just saw on your screen with that book. DJ Beauregard sat and listened to people for 2.5 hours say book banning, book banning, book banning, book banning. And Kristen Maxwell said, hey, can I get a point of clarification? Like before we waste 2 hours on people talking about something that's not on the agenda. And he wouldn't let her. And when it was all over, and Dennis DeZago got up and made a fool of himself, and all these other people made fools of themselves, and everybody went around the table, DJ sat there and said nothing through all of it. But when he was done, and I'm going to paraphrase, but this is pretty much what he said. He said, you know, you can say book banning's not on the agenda today, but this is how it starts. This is the beginning. I'm a First Amendment absolutist. I've gone to jail for my First Amendment right. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars for my First Amendment right. And I'll tell you right now, this is not how it starts. This is how you stop perverted teachers, perv-splaining like Miss McLeod in the Methuen schools about why it's okay to be using the N-word out loud with a bunch of white kids in a white community in a white school. All right? This is age-appropriate and culturally appropriate material in your schools, not the beginning of book banning. Okay? Nobody's banning a book because if the book was banned, I wouldn't be able to show you that passage. I'd be going to jail right now for showing you that passage if the book was banned. So let's stop at the nonsense in Methuen. And if DJ really, he got no moral compass. I get that he's still trying to find his way. He's a young kid and he's trying.
Kid.
But he is. He's still 12. Right? Like, how old is he really? Like 30?
I don't know.
Like, he's a young kid.
That's already a grown man.
I know, but not really.
That's already a grown man, no?
Not when you're as old as I am. All right, let's get to my guest. I have to say that I'm really disappointed I really like a lot of what DJ's doing. I mean, I want to couch it by saying
you cannot justify though with his age or being young. He is running a city. He's responsible for thousands and thousands of people.
I know he is. He is. But I also know that he was thrust into this job. The previous mayor died. He was thrust into this job. There was less than a year left in the term. He had to put fires out every day. It's not like he ran for the job with a plan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making excuses for him. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair because I'm really unhappy with him lately. But I also recognize that he didn't come into this job with the way most people come into this job.
Voted in.
Yeah, like with a
Well, there was a small thing that happened last December,
Right.
right? Didn't he get voted in or
right,
something?
but he didn't.
have
He didn't
anybody.
decide to run for mayor with a plan of I want to run for mayor because this is what I want to accomplish. He was thrust into it because someone died, and so now he's trying to find his way. And I get it, but he's got to keep his word because that's the hill I am going to die on. And number two, pandering to the insiders is going to get him thrown out of office within a couple of years and probably never find office ever again as a white guy in Massachusetts. Pandering to the
Stay out of
teachers,
Lawrence. That's none of your
pandering to the
business.
teachers, pandering to your campaign managers' views about another community, all that kind of stuff. Saying things like "This is how it starts," instead of I'm really horrified by what I was just told.
It's because there was a whole bunch of parents. They brought in an army. He needs those votes.
But then they lied. They sat there for 2 hours and they frickin' lied. They lied. That there was
Wish you would've stayed
that there was
objective.
book banning on the agenda. There was not book banning on the agenda. Nobody's looking. However, I'll tell you what. If I was the mayor of Methuen, there's no way that book would be getting read in a Methuen school. There's no way. If you're Dan Shabilia and Kelsey Shabilia and you're a pervert and you want to get that book at the library and read it out loud to your kid, I will fight to the death for your right to do that as a parent. But other parents have morals, and other parents actually care about their kids. And if they don't want their kids to consume that, that should be their right too. And it shouldn't be pushed on them. And the parent that complained, saying, I wasn't notified, and they all circled the wagons like, how dare she even complain? They attacked her. By the way, they didn't know she was sitting there, and person after person attacked her. And then she got up to speak, and did you hear the gasps when they realized that she had been sitting with them all along while they were not only attacking her at the microphone, but talking about her, mumbling behind the scenes while other
Making
people
little
were-
comments.
making little
Bullying.
comments.
Bullying.
It's exactly what they were doing. While Dan Shabilia, while he's crying about bullying in the schools, is sitting there bullying Kristen Maxwell, and they all tried to shut her down. They all circle the wagons, and they all attack her. And you know who else this entire group of people circles the wagons and try to attack? That's our next guest. So sitting next to me, to my left, to your right, is Patricia Valli, or as Pavel Payano calls her, Patricia Valle. Valle. I'm sitting there going, who's this Valle person he keeps talking about? And halfway through his speech, I realized he was talking about Patricia. And I went, oh my God. And you know me, like, I can't help myself. So I yelled, I didn't mean to yell it, but there was a hush when I said it out loud. And I went, what the hell is a Valle? I thought her name was Valley. You should have. And I got the video. I'm going to show it to you after the election. The laser beams that shot out of his eyes when I said that was unbelievable. Patricia Valley is a member of the Methuen City Council. She represents the West End. I think, after watching several meetings, I think she's one of the better councilors that we have. She asks questions that other people are afraid to ask. To me, even if I don't agree with her position, which I don't a lot of times, but I love the fact that she's willing to challenge the administration, that she's asking questions other people don't ask, and she's also willing to say out loud some things that DJ Burga would never have the courage to say out loud, and that is Patricia Valley. Thank you for coming there. Patricia.
Thank you for the
Thanks
invitation.
again. And, so thank you very much. So that's the end of the show, folks. Everybody, good night. Let's read our sponsor
Well,
list.
Patricia.
Well, Patricia. So you're on the. So what made you run? I'm always fascinated by. You're a very successful person. You're a very successful real estate person. You are a prominent person within the community, and I remember asking Neil Perry this same exact question, and I'm always fascinated by the answer. What made you want to step into this swamp of deceit, deception, double talk? It's a dirty game. Everybody's backbiting each other. Everybody smiles to each other's face. Nothing ever really gets accomplished. Things that get accomplished get undone the minute you leave. What made you want to step into this arena of all things? Like, why not, like, I don't know, go to Hawaii and retire? Why not? You in Africa, right?
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't have come back. I watched the videos that you sent me of the giraffes with the sunset. Oh my God, I would have stayed.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
So what made you want to? What made you want to come back and go do this? Like, of all things, like.
Let me tell you.
This is the most disgraceful business in the world, and you willingly stepped. You weren't thrust into it. You willingly stepped in.
I have been living in Methuen for 23 years now. I have seen the good, the bad, the beauty, and the ugly. So I have two options.
Can you pull this closer?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have two options. I can sit down, whine, and complain
Yep. Like
about
me.
what is going on, or I can get involved and propel the change that I'm expecting to see.
All right.
So that is the reason why I'm
So
running again.
when you first got into this, what kind of change were you looking to do? And then when you got into this, was it what you thought it was going to be?
When I first started running, I was thinking about economic development. We need like another revenue stream for the city that we don't put all the, I don't know how to pronounce the word burden on our taxpayers.
Burden.
Burden.
Okay.
Yeah, that's difficult for me.
She's got the sexiest
Yeah,
voice.
yeah. I know. I'm gonna be mocked after this. So,
Which is
but-
more sexy, her voice or Janilda's voice?
Her voice.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
I like them.
Wow.
Where are you from? What is your ethnicity?
Dominican.
You're Dominican? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I thought you
So
said you were
and I
Mexican.
I thought people,
Oh, they told me to go back to Mexico, and social media.
yeah, Dan Shabilia says that.
But
on
I'm
his, fake,
I'm not
on his fake account, Chuck Kirk.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Dominican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but
What part?
I love Mexico. From El Cibao, Mao Valverde,
Mao?
close
Oh,
to
nice.
Santiago. 30
Yeah,
minutes
beautiful
away.
women there. Tom,
Yeah,
you should go there
yeah.
one time.
I'll never come back.
Yeah. 30 minutes away
What
from
happened to
Santiago.
Tom? We haven't seen a newspaper in 2 years. I don't know. He went to the Dominican. We haven't seen him since.
So at the beginning, I was thinking about economic development. I want to see more business. I want to see a downtown revitalized. But then once I get in, other things came up. And now I still believe that we should develop economically, bring more businesses, bring more jobs for local people, and have like a beautiful downtown.
How do you do that when you've got Salem, New Hampshire with no taxes right over the border, when you've got a political environment that looks to punish businesses to keep the residential taxes down? And I get it, every community struggles with this. Do you raise your commercial taxes or the residential taxes? You raise commercial taxes, it hurts the businesses, it hurts the community. But if you raise residential taxes, people vote against you in the next election. So I understand, like it's no attack on the current mayor or even previous mayors. In every community, they struggle with this. But you're right over the border from New Hampshire. You've got a dying business class in the Central District with the Loop, right? It's kind of revitalized a little bit. It's coming back a little bit, but
Not really.
I've gone to 7 different ribbon cuttings where that.
They don't stay long.
Yeah, some
No, they don't.
in the same place. Like there's a spot right outside, right next to the movie theater, that I've gone 7 different ribbon cuttings just in the last 3 years or 4 years, and it just keeps rotating. And now I think it's either a sushi place or a noodle place.
A noodle place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a-
it's a
Oh,
noodle
you're talking
place.
about right next to the movie. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
where you were last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah,
or
no.
the night before, sorry.
I think it's an Indian place.
Yeah, and listen, and I'm rooting
We don't even know.
And I'm rooting for all of them, but I watch the new people come in and I see how excited they are, and I think in the back of my head, do they really know? Do they know what they're in for? And I look at Methuen and I see so much potential, just like Lawrence has always had potential, but I see that the political climate seems to be so dishonest and so corrupted. Not corrupted like people stealing money, but corrupted in that you can't get anything done unless you know the right people. That I wonder if Methuen ever can really, with everything going against it, with New Hampshire and everything, your tax base is, younger people not really moving in, right? You have an older and older electorate, older and older residents. And then you got the crap going on in the schools, which make people flee, right?
Yeah, but young people don't move in because, like my son said, we don't have nothing to do here. What's attractive? So that is the thing that we should be able to change.
Right.
One thing about downtown, I feel like it really needs a little boost.
It does.
More business,
It
different
does,
types
it
of business.
does.
I would love to have a business in Methuen, a little lounge area or something, but I don't even know how to get started.
Like a nice coffee shop.
I don't even know how to get started with something like that,
Yeah.
like some kind of resource center.
I mean,
it
you've
would
got
be
like,
well
you've
to
got like
in
Man
Methuen.
Orchards, right? You can go have a coffee, Man Orchards. We love the Fitzgeralds, right? But and there's a couple of other small places, but
Yeah, we have Maya's Cafe.
our downtowns. See, like I grew up when Lawrence downtown was bustling, right? When I was a kid, even in high school, Lawrence downtown, you couldn't find a place to park during the day. There was people walking like.
I mean, that happens now.
Hundreds, but downtowns are kind of dead across the country, right? Most people go into malls, they're shopping online.
You see that Tuscan Village? That place is booming right
It
now.
is. It
Doing
is.
really well.
But it's kind of like a gated community without a gate, right? It's like you go in and everything's right in that one spot.
That's the beauty of
Is
it.
that a solution, or or can you bring back the downtowns? I don't know. You're the council. You're the expert.
Listen, I have been advocating or I was advocating for a grant writer for almost a year, and finally it is an FY26. The mayor will be hiring someone part-time, and that is with intention to bring grants to motivate business owner to open up a business in Methuen. Because I know they do that in other communities, and it has been successful.
So you mean a grant writer to help private businesses?
To chase the money.
To recruit,
Okay.
to recruit people in?
Yes, chase the money.
And
And,
so what would the
know,
grant writer do, like grants for like maybe facades for the outside of a building? Like what would it?
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to bring Lawrence into this because I'm being bashed because...
Well, don't listen. Don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about what your
yeah.
enemies say
Yeah.
because
But-
they're gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, but do you see what they did in Lawrence in the past on Essex Street? Like everybody has like the same, how you call it?
Association?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yes,
outside.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
And that was
okay.
through a grant.
Okay.
That was through grant.
All right.
And it looks beautiful, like
Yeah.
all even and uniform.
You know what
Yeah.
they have in Lawrence too that really works? The LRA, the Lawrence Redevelopment something authority or something
Aren't
like
they the
that.
one- are they the
so
ones yelling-
basically, what they do is they have these grants, or they find these grants,
they
and then
found
they
it, yeah.
find people to apply for them, and use them for the city.
But-
So that's something that's I think that's a
For
great
new
idea.
business owners too, because
They can come in and say, "Oh, you
yeah,
guys, we can
yeah,
help you
yeah.
out with this process of this grant. You can get it, and you can start your business. That sort of thing would be
Yep.
great."
So when you ran for the job, you had an idea what you wanted to do. Then you got in, and like most people find out, you end up just putting out fires every day. You're not really getting to
me, but
being progressive, right? You're not being proactive. You're just reacting to everything that's going on, right?
So you mean the whole council or me?
Yeah, no, like the whole.
specifically?
Well, I mean, you had an idea. You said when you got in, you wanted to do these things for economic development. Then you got in, and you're just reacting to everything that's going on. So once you got comfortable in that job, once you kind of settled in, when you looked back, is the job what you thought it was going to be?
Not really,
No.
because I came from the private sector. When you get things done like that,
Right.
Like
Well, you're
chop, chop,
motivated
chop.
the private
Yes.
sector to actually have results.
Yeah, exactly. But here, it takes forever to get something done, and sometimes that's the discouraging part of this.
How is
yeah.
working with the mayor, like putting the political stuff aside, how is working with the mayor? I know he sits at those at the council meetings. I have not seen the last meeting, but I heard horrible things. But aside from all that political stuff, how is working with the mayor as far as pushing your agenda forward, trying to get things accomplished, trying to get things done?
I'll say he's trying. He's
Yeah?
trying hard. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes it's not up to him. He needs to go to the proper channel to
Right.
get whatever has to be done.
Like state grants or stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that?
state grant and the grant writer, the person, which I'm gonna follow
Is
up on
he
that on the
accessible
next meeting.
when you call him?
Oh, he's always
He
accessible.
is.
Yeah, I texted him on Sunday because I had an issue, and he responded back to me right
Because that's
away.
the one thing that people
He
complained
is
a lot
accessible.
about Neil Perry was
No.
toward the end, it was really impossible just to get him on the phone and
No.
somebody else
Mayor
was.
Beauregard is all accessible. In my case, I can reach out
Well,
anytime, any day, and
that's good. So
and
now,
he'll respond back.
So now
yeah.
you've been there for 2 years. You've probably not been able to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish,
Nope.
as much at least anyways. What makes you think in the next 2 years you're going to be able to?
Good question.
That's why I
Maybe
asked it.
maybe with the new
I'm here all week. Tip your waitress.
maybe with the new fresh blood that is coming to the council.
Uh-huh. We do have some great fresh
yeah,
blood.
Yeah, fresh blood.
You know, the
and-
Santos, I think, is going to be a
yeah,
superstar.
with another vision, and maybe we can work together and get things accomplished.
Do you have any kind of ideas on what you'd like to? Well, let me ask you this, because I'm dancing around. I've been debating bringing it up or not. One of the big controversies is the Searles building, and I have to admit I'm not as versed on what's going on with the Searles as I should be because I haven't been following it as much. But I see what Steve Gillis posts all the time, and I know there's a lot of people who don't like him, but I think he at least has a point. And I'm interested in what you think, because again, I admit that I'm somewhat ignorant on the topic. What Steve Gillis is complaining about is why is the city spending city money on this property when it's going to cost an exorbitant amount of money in upkeep and water bills and all this other stuff, and we're not going to get it, we meaning you guys in Methuen, are not going to get anything for it. What was your position on this? What are your thoughts on this?
So my position at the beginning with the purchase was a no. My vote was no. I was bashed all over social media, emails, texts, go back to Mexico again, and all that kind of good things. I love historic preservation, but with a plan. And we didn't have a plan since day one. And still, there's no plan. It was never on the table that the property was to purchase and flip it. So now this is what it looks like is going on. They want to try to sell it, no profit. So who in the right mind will buy a property to flip it, basically for a loss?
So the city's
for a loss.
city's buying the property. Or did the city already buy it?
Oh yeah.
City bought it.
Wait,
bought the
what?
property.
Which one?
The So's building.
The sales estate, yeah.
But isn't it a bid online?
Well, so they're trying to flip it. She
yeah,
said.
yeah, no, yeah.
So the city
It's-
bought
it's
it
for
to
sale.
flip it.
Yeah.
So what was the purchase of buying
That was
it then?
that was not the intention at the beginning. That was not on the table. It came a couple months later with that idea because of the upkeeping cost, a lot of issues with the maintenance, and because the home inspection was waived, they didn't have an appraisal done. That was two of my questions too, because when you're going to buy a property, you want to know what you're buying, what is the condition of that property, how much you're going to need to rehab it or to renovate it, and that was not done. That was not completed.
Why didn't they come to you? Aren't you in that sector, right?
I believe that's conflict of interest,
Oh,
and they
okay.
already have their.
No, not for you to
yeah.
sell it, but for your opinion on it, or kind of
Oh,
for you to guide
I
them
did
in a
give
way.
my opinion, yeah, but it didn't count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was in the minority.
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Look at me.
I have some comments, if that's okay.
I was just gonna
go
read
ahead.
it.
No, go ahead.
So Catherine Chang, who by the way is a very good friend of the show and a very good friend of the Valley Patriot, although she doesn't advertise with us anymore. I don't think she loves us as much as we love her. She says, "How about supporting the businesses already in Methuen?
That's true.
And making Methuen a great place to live. Make a plan. Where is the vision?" And she does have a good point. Every time I have a candidate on, they always talk about bringing in new business, but they never say anything about helping the businesses that are already here.
I think Nelly came up with something, but that's not in place right now, like about a survey from the existing business to see how we can help them succeed.
What about an association?
And stay.
Is there a bit like David Consoli? I thought was part of a business
There's a
association.
business
No?
We
association.
do. I didn't even know we have that here.
David Consoli.
That would be great, like a downtown
yeah,
association,
yeah.
a loop association, and kind of meet once a month and go
yeah.
over some of the issues,
All the
with the
issues, yeah,
police
yeah,
department, with the fire department.
Yeah, true.
Up to code,
And,
give them
beautify,
information.
beautify the area too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
She also added grants are very political, unfortunately, and she's right about that. If you don't know the right people, you're not going to get a grant.
But that's why you're hiring someone to do the job.
right.
That's what the job of the grant writer is.
You know, one of the
And it works perfect in other cities like Haverhill and.
so I worked at City Hall in Lawrence in 19. I'm going to date myself now.
Oh God.
I worked at City Hall in Lawrence in 1987.
Woo!
Okay, 1987, 88, 89.
What do you do there?
So I was the liaison between the mayor's office and DPW. I was
Oh.
Andrea Trafficante before Andrea was Andrea Trafficante. I was the liaison between the mayor's office. So I ran for school committee in '85. I was a high school senior, and I lost. And so the mayor at the time, Kevin Sullivan, gave me a job in City Hall. He just created a job for me, and it was like minimum wage. I think it was $5.50 an hour back then. And basically, my job was to sit in the mayor's meetings, and anytime they talk about a DPW issue, to take notes and bring it to the DPW director and say, "This is what the mayor wants you to do." Because the DPW director, Frank Johnson, at the time was always out in the community overseeing roads being paved and all that other stuff. He was a very hands-on guy. Anyways, I remember being there, and I remember, and I never forget this, and I talked about this at every election since. This guy came into our office and said, he was very upset, and he said, "You know, I tried to open a business, and they told me I had to get a permit. So I went and I got a permit, and I fixed up my business. Then they came in and they said, yeah, but you have to have a bathroom that's handicap accessible. So I had to get a permit for that, and then I had to break down what I had already done, and then I had to put in that. And then they came in and they said, but now you need a fire permit, and then you need a food permit, and then you need a permit for this." He said, every time I thought I was done, every time I thought I was ready, the city said, no, you need to do one more thing. And I always thought in my head, why can't municipalities put together a packet that says to all the new businesses, here's all the things you're going to need, right? All in one shot, and say, like, one-stop shopping, this is all the things you're going to need, and here's a copy of a blank permit for all of those things that you're going to need. Go, like, fill them all out, bring in, like, one check for everything, and then the small business owner knows when this is done, we can open. We can have a ribbon cutting or whatever, a date. Before we even start, we can have an idea when we start, and then we know what we need to do without every 30 days we have to push it back from something else. And I don't know if Methuen has that, but
I'm not sure.
It would also be nice for current businesses if the city would let them know what's expected of them, right?
I think they get like all that kind of paperwork and documentation when they go and apply for the permit.
When they apply
might be a miscommunication between the inspector and the
right.
business owner, maybe.
When you're knocking doors, what kind of reception are you getting?
They don't open the door for me.
No way.
Someone.
What's Methuen? No way.
No, they think I'm selling solar panels. I don't know why.
Selling what?
Solar panels.
Oh, solar panels.
Lucrative business, by the way.
Well, I'm asking because
My
you
friend
guys-
makes 6
No,
figures
I have
there.
met a couple of constituents. Yeah, elderly, really sweet, nice. Yeah.
I just saw John Salvestano's comment about streamlining the permit process. I didn't see it, but we were both thinking the same thing.
I like John Savastano. He always has good interventions.
You know, you guys passed an ordinance, I think, while you were on, about no soliciting and no soliciting.
That
ordinance.
was me. I amended it.
That was-
It existed, and I made the amendment. Yeah.
So what was your amendment?
It was the schedule in wintertime because it gets dark earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fee is increased. The salesperson, or however you want to call it, they need an ID. They need to go pull a permit at the police station. They need a tag stating who they are, right? Like an identification. And they need to put, it's not like a bond, it's like a deposit.
Okay.
They need to leave a deposit. And I work with IT in collaboration to have the list digital. So residents can opt out.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the do not call list, basically.
Yeah. So I philosophically have a problem with this.
Why?
Because in a free country, I ought to be able to knock on anybody's door I want.
Exactly.
I ought to be able to go, hey, listen, I got these great encyclopedias, and I saw you on social media yesterday saying that you were looking for an encyclopedia. I got these encyclopedias. You want to buy my encyclopedias?
But you can do it. Just go and pull the permit and do the proper way, the proper channel.
But is only one place to go, or is it multiple
But
places?
I'm going to need permission from the government to exercise my freedom, and that's my problem, philosophically anyway. Like in practice, it's probably working great, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
philosophically, I just have a problem with asking I'm still upset that you have to get a fishing permit. Like, fishing has been around since before governments. Why do I need the
believe in
government's
it.
permission to get a fishing permit? Why do I need the government's permission to fix my porch? Why do I need the government's permission to knock on somebody's door? Like, it just seems like the government is so intruded on all of our freedoms.
Some residents were feeling annoyed
Okay.
by the door knocking thing,
Yeah.
selling all kind of products, and
So if they put
were
a sign out that says no soliciting, then they're in violation of your ordinance. What if they're not? What if there's no sign out? Can I still knock on their door and sell them an encyclopedia?
If you pull the permit and you have your ID and you pay all the fees, yeah.
So-
if you are in compliance, yes.
Okay. So if I'm a small business owner and I want to sell whatever door to door, I'm already out money before I start. If I don't sell anything, I'm out money. Now, like, what's my financial incentive to sell things?
Well, the thing is, what do you want to do? Do you want to protect the residents, in this case, the elderly that were the one complaining the most? With people knocking the doors on individuals in wintertime, 7 p.m. They don't know who's at my door.
No, I think I just want to protect my freedom, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see how
public safety. To me, that's public safety.
I want to see how she handles me disagreeing with her.
Can I just
Yeah.
And I'll let
correct
you
you
do a
on
good job.
something on the fishing? So
Sure.
for freshwater fishing, it's a little bit more. You know, those fishes don't just grow themselves there; they actually get stocked.
Yeah.
They throw fishes in there for
But-
people to fish.
but
so you need it, and I
long-
think it's good to have that because you don't
But
want people out of control. You want people to know the laws.
Long before the United States government even existed, there were Indians fishing on this land. And they didn't
How
need
many Indians were there
and they
compared to
didn't-
them on now?
They didn't need a government to give them permission to eat,
Do you
right?
see what happens in China? How people just go fishing for anything and everything?
Well-
They kill the fishes. If you get a fish that's too small and hasn't grown yet, you can't take it with you. You got what do you do? Oh,
Where's Alejandro? He's so cute.
Alejandro's here with those guys. I'm sorry.
But no, I hear what you're
Sorry,
saying. I
sorry.
have friends
Go
from
ahead.
China, Aaron from Tomo, right, who talks about the fact that the government has so polluted the waters that you take your life in your own hands by fishing. But I have a problem with us. I have to ask the town of North Andover's permission to fix my porch. I have to ask the town, if I live in Methuen, I have to ask the city's permission if I want.
But that's safety. What if you don't build the porch the way you're supposed
Well, then
to, and
that's
someone
my problem.
fall and you get then sued?
But that's my
or
problem.
Someone dies.
That's not the
someone get
government's.
hurt. You
It's
know what
not
I
the
mean?
government's problem. This is my whole problem with government. You know, I'm not a libertarian, but I have a lot of very libertarian beliefs. I really think the government is just way too involved in our life. It's way too heavy-handed. We have to think about the fact you have to ask the government's permission to fix your own porch. Right? If it falls, it falls. If someone sues me, that's on me. But I need the government, and I have to show them a plan.
Well, you have insurance.
I-
You have to have insurance.
But you need a
right?
license to drive. It's the same thing. You should
Well,
be
at le-
driving without a license, right?
Well, I don't know. I think we could probably have a debate on that. At least with a license, you have to, because you're on the state's road. You're taking other people's lives in your hand. Like maybe a little different. Like in airline pilots, you probably have a license, right? But if you're doing something in your own home, if you're digging in your backyard and you want to put in a pool, why do I need the government's permission to put a pool in my own yard? Like, who the F are they? Who are my neighbors? Because that's all the government is. It's your neighbors, right? It's the people in your community telling you what you are allowed to do. And so I'm just very libertarian on these things.
That's an extra income.
Liberal.
An extra income for the city, too.
Liberal? No, liberal's the other
those
way.
permits being pulled, that's an extra income.
For the city?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so all right. So we're going to infringe on people's rights to make money. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Now it all makes sense.
Public safety.
Now I get it.
And an extra income.
Oh, my God. I love her. You know, I when the election's over, will you come back?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
If you're not tough on me, because
I like that she's like, going against you, like challenging, not going against you, but like challenging you.
Well, that's
You
what
guys
I was-
are having a conversation. I
Yes.
like this.
Well, this is what I'm always pushing for, especially for people that I've never had on the show before, is I don't just want the people at home to see what you think. I want them to see how you think. Like, how do you process things? How do you disagree with people? Are you respectful? Are you contemplative? Do you consider the fact you might be wrong once in a while? I try to take all of those things and project that out to the public, because if they're going to vote for you and you're going to be representing them on any kind of a board, school committee, library board of trustees, whatever it is, I think the voters should be comfortable in who you are and how you make your decisions, not just what decisions that you make. Because there are people like Nellie Soto who sit at those meetings, and I don't agree with what she says, but I know why she's saying it, and I'm okay with it. Because I know she believes what she's saying is the right thing. And because I know how she thinks. And so when I have people on, whether it's you or Janilda or anybody else, I want the public, and we're going to do a debate next week, next Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
That's going to be
With
interesting.
the at-large candidates.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to throw topics out to see how they talk to each other. How do they disagree? How do they make their decisions, not just what decisions are they making? And I really like you and Jana Zanni and Janilda. All three have been on the show, have been very conversational. It wasn't very formal. It wasn't like, well, what do you think about taxes? Well, Tom, I believe that. Nobody at home wants a scripted answer. They want to see a real person. They want to see their neighbor.
Organic.
And I see you at those council meetings really challenging what people have always
I'm
just
not so
automatically
vocal.
believed.
I'm not so vocal, though.
No, well, look, there's some people who have to talk on every issue, right? That's not you, but I
No,
like
that's
that,
not
right?
me.
There are some people that no matter what, we miss Jessica because those meetings were 8 hours long, right? And I love Jessica, but you do challenge people when you think, like, you sit back and you don't take part in every discussion, but then when you think, oh, wait a minute, this is something that people were just assuming is one way. Why are they assuming that? And you start asking questions, and I love that. If you get elected for the next 2 years, and you've got a very tough race, you're running against a guy who is a former counselor who is bad-mouthing you everywhere. You've got to run against another guy who's attacking your ethnicity, who's stealing your signs, putting them on other people's lawns, trying to make you look bad on social media everywhere he can. And yet you're not attacking. One of the things I really have admired about you so far, at least, is you have not attacked either one of your opponents while they're out there attacking you every day.
Because you're attacking them on my behalf.
She said the quiet part out loud.
I just sit back and relax. No, I was talking last night to John Drew, which I love. He's such a gentleman, and Disoglio. And I was saying I love the energy that the councilor at large have right now. Like, they get along, they go to dinner together, they talk about issues, they go door knocking together. And I say, I wish I can do that.
Yeah.
But there's no way.
Right. You can't.
Yeah, no.
You have two candidates that are killed. And by the way, they're killing each other too.
Really?
They don't realize it, but Dan is bad-mouthing Samad everywhere he goes.
Oh my gosh.
And because Dan has Sharon Pollard's support. Sharon Pollard hates Mike Samad. So Mike Samad, when he's in front of Mike Samad or people that might be Mike Samad supporters, he says nice things about them. But the minute he's in a group of people that are not necessarily Mike Samad supporters, he puts on his Sharon Pollard hat and starts attacking Mike Samad.
That's not nice.
So
we're grown.
So they're
adults.
all attacking you. They're attacking. I don't think Mike is attacking Dan. I don't think I've heard that. But they're attacking you. Dan's attacking you. Dan's attacking him. He's attacking you. He's attacking your ethnicity, certainly. I've had numerous phone calls from people who say that he showed up at their door and showed them a picture of you with Brian DePena and said, do we want the West End to turn into Lawrence?
I don't know why.
But you're not attacking them back.
No, I don't need to. I have never lived in Lawrence. That's number one. And, they're attacking me because of my skin color, my accent, and my ethnicity. So what can I do about that?
Right.
And by the way, she's not Mexican.
I'm not Mexican.
Right.
I cannot change my accent. I speak 3 languages. Like, how many languages do they speak?
Right.
Exactly.
So, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change it.
But the other thing...
And I'm a grown adult, so I don't need to attack anyone back.
Well,
if I make it, I make it. If not, it was a good experience. I met a lot of nice people, then...
That's what I was trying to get to, is that Dan Shabili's attacking her, mocking her accent, right? And Mike is going door to door, attacking her ethnicity, basically saying, she's gonna Latinoize West Methuen, and yet she's not whining about it on Facebook, right? Like 25 years ago, if anybody had done that to a Latina candidate, they'd be whining about it and using it to their advantage and say, look at me, I'm a victim, and she's not doing that.
No, I'm bigger than that.
I'm an adult. And I really like that. So
classy.
If you win, though. And this is the reason I brought it up. If you win, though, you're going to have to work with one of them because it's a vote for 2, right?
Yeah.
And in a vote for 2, that means with 3 candidates, it's going to be, if you win, you and one of those 2, and probably Mike Simard. But how do you work with a guy that's done that to you?
Listen to this. Mike Simard was my mentor 2 years ago.
You told me that when I met you.
He took me under his wings.
You told me that before Dan got in the race, and I couldn't believe it.
He trained me, yes. I went to a couple of meetings with him, met with constituents, worked on issues together.
So why does he hate you now, though?
I think it's because of the issue in Lawrence, but I don't live in Lawrence. Whatever is happening in Lawrence is not part of my life.
But what issue does he think that you're tied in with? I know he hates Brian, so does he think you're tied in with Brian? Is that what it is?
Yes. And assumption is that I'm going to bring the corruption from Lawrence to Methuen.
Oh.
Wow. I have never lived in Lawrence. I don't live in Lawrence. I do own a couple of multifamilies in Lawrence. I need to go to the city hall if I have an issue with the water, with the tax bill.
Well, you're a real estate person. So
and I'm a real estate investor, exactly. So if they see me at the city hall, I'm doing something for one of my properties.
Right. But I guess I just don't get that.
But I really appreciate that, he took me under his wings 2 years ago, and I hope this thing can stop because I'm really grateful for what he did 2 years ago. And I don't have anything against him.
When you and I first met...
Even though I'm being attacked now, I don't hold grudges. That's on him.
When you and I first met and you told me, Mike Simard, I made a negative comment about Mike, and you said, hey, listen... He trained me. He was my mentor.
He was my mentor.
I don't really want to hear anything negative about him. And I said, well, you know what? I gave him an award with my father's name on it, and then he shoved a knife in my back. So if he did that to me, trust me, yours is coming. And she said, no. He's such a wonderful person. He's so great.
Tom is always right. Eventually, what he says comes true.
You wait long enough. I'm very good at people.
People make mistakes. Let's say,
But I'm not saying it to point out that it's a mistake.
Not me. I say about him now. Attacking me.
But I do appreciate that you're not like me because when I had a knife in my back. It's not so much retaliation, but I lash out. Like there's a certain candidate that was at last night's event, I'm sure you heard, who walked by me with their husband, and I had to make a comment. And I had to make the comment. I had to make the comment because I'm Tom Duggan. I can't help myself.
You don't know how to forgive.
It's not about forgiving. It's about letting the other person know that I know what they did.
But how is that going to help you as a human being?
Because the one thing that I can't stand and I will never tolerate is somebody smiling to my face while they're bad-mouthing me behind my back. We had Randy Carter on a few weeks ago, how Randy and I became best friends. 25 years ago, I was at the Veterans Northeast Outreach ribbon cutting, and he came over to me, and I thought he was coming over to say hi. But he wasn't. He was coming over to get the coffee behind me. And as he approached me, I put my hand out and said, hi, how are you? Because I thought he was coming over to say hi. And he said, you're a piece of shit. Don't talk to me. And he reached behind me and he got his coffee. And I said, well, what's the problem? And he said, well, something about his friend Greg or something. You wrote something about my friend Greg, and I don't like what you did. And I said, well, I really respect that you said it to my face, not behind my back. Let me buy you a drink. Let's talk about what happened to your friend Greg. We've been best friends ever since. Because if you say it to my face, I don't care what you say behind my back. Because I know where you stand, and I'm okay with that.
I
But
got
when you
your
smile
point.
at my face, when you walk by me and you smile like we're friends, or you come over and you pretend that we're friends, but behind my back you're savaging me, that's never something I'm going to respond well to, especially if it's someone I've been good to. Now, this candidate, and I'm not going to say her name, but this candidate is somebody that I endorsed, that I helped. I was the only person to help this person the last time they ran. And the first person to come out and endorse them this time. And then I found out what was being said, and then I got a very nasty text message, and I was like, okay, I'll run into them sooner or later. And it was really her husband, not her. So I was with her at Alejandro's the other night, didn't say a word. She came in, she sat, I didn't say a word, she left. But last night she came in with the husband. And when they were leaving, I waited till they were leaving, and they walked by me, and I said, hey, why don't you effing just say to my face what you say behind my back? And
To her husband?
to her husband. And then to add insult to injury.
It's just like a jealousy thing going on there.
Well, maybe. Here's what I think happened.
You are too sabroso. Explain that in English. Él es sabroso.
Like women.
Flirting?
Yeah, flirty.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I
That's
think
why.
what happened is I was sitting with her at an event, and I flirted with every other woman but her. And I think she went home and she felt insecure, so she said to her husband, well, Tom Duggan was flirting with me, because she's not someone I would ever flirt with, because I've known her for a really long time. And also, if you notice, I flirt with the Latina candidates, because in the Dominican culture, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So I'm flirting
We're
with
more
you.
relaxed on
I'm
that.
flirting with you. I'm flirting with Janelda. I'm flirting with Nelly. I'm flirting with even Maria Figueroa, right? But I'm not flirting with Kristen Maxwell. I'm not flirting with any of the white liberal candidates, because they're white liberal candidates and all that means. So I would never, and I know that she's an ultra left-wing lunatic. So was her husband. So I never flirted with her. We sat at Ryan DeZoglio's, and I flirted with every other woman that came, including Estella Reyes, who came and sat with us. And I saw the hurt on her face, and I was going to say something, but I'm like, no, she's white and she's liberal. Why would I say anything?
But you know what, Tom? It's true what you say. I'm not saying to hate them, or, maybe you can forgive them and accept them for who they are. But people like that you have to be careful with, because they're desperate. Like what they're doing to you, people like that are desperate. And when they show you their true colors, you got to believe them.
Right.
That's how it is.
Well, here's the thing about Mike Samad, though. Let's get back to that real quick, because my thing with Mike Samad was he betrayed me, right? And so it's
How so?
So I gave him an award with my father's name on it. That meant a lot to me. I called him a hero police officer.
Okay.
I called him up at my charity bash, and I told everybody, this guy is a hero in the community. And then when he decided to run for city council, I went to his house with Ali Safi and Jessica Finicaro, and we taught him how to get out the vote, who to call, how to do your 1, 2s, and 3s, what to spend money on, what not to spend money on. And we taught him the mechanics of running a campaign. Now, he probably would have won anyway. I'm not saying he won because of me. But we at least showed him the ropes on how to do it. And I came out and I endorsed him. And even though he was attacking my friend Joe Solomon at the microphone publicly everywhere he went, I still was supporting him, because Joe's my friend and he's my friend. And I thought, they're both my friends. I'm not going to get in the middle of this. But the minute he got on the city council, started attacking me at the microphone at the council meetings. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was on the phone with you 2 days ago. You were asking me for a favor. You didn't say anything about being mad at me about Joe Solomon. Now, 2 days later, you're talking about something that happened 3 weeks ago, and you're attacking me publicly. So I saw it as a knife in the back. So I called him, and he wouldn't take my call. And I called my friend Jimmy Razzo and said, hey, can you put the two of us together, have a coffee? Can we work this out? He wasn't interested. He was only interested in publicly attacking me, because now that he got what he wanted, he didn't need me anymore. And I gave this guy an award with my father's friggin' name on it. And that means a lot. My father was murdered in the line of duty. And I give 2 awards a year away with my father's name on it to local police officers or firefighters. Juan Manny Gonzalez has one of them, the candidate in Lawrence. And then when that happened, I was just hurt. Like, I'm not a person who gets hurt very easily. I'm a gruff guy in the community. Everyone's afraid of me. I'm mean and I'm horrible. But when it comes to something like that, it was kind of like, if you had a problem with me personally, why don't you just pick up the phone? Like,
I was going to ask you, have you tried to talk to him?
I did. I even reached out to Jimmy Razzo, who's a fellow, a mutual friend. And so when it comes to that, or the city council candidate from last night, or Neil Perry, when I worked on his campaign and then he betrayed me, I have a very hard time with people who are disloyal when you're good to them. It's one thing if you're my friend and we have a fight. That's totally understandable, right? But if I'm helping you, or you're helping me with something with my newspaper, and we're going out all the time, and you're my friend, and you're doing really good things to help me out, and then you find out that, like, behind your back I'm screwing you, and I'm bad-mouthing you, and I'm recruiting people to run against you, it's that feeling of, like, well, I've done nothing to you, and you're screwing me. what does that say about what kind of person you're going to be representing the public? You're going to betray them too? And so to me, it's all one thing, right? I don't want to make this all about me.
Yep.
But I see that you're dealing with two very scurrilous people. And I've endorsed Mike Samad. And I endorsed Mike Samad, and we're going to get into this real quick. I endorsed Mike Samad because despite the fact that I don't like him, and despite the fact that he's betrayed me, I think he'd be a better city councilor than Dan Shabilia. He at least can do the job. He at least
Has
is
experience.
capable
Yeah.
of doing the
Yeah.
job, even though I probably won't like the job that he's doing. He's at least capable. Dan's just a buffoon. Dan will get in there and he'll sell his vote to anybody who wants to buy it. And so I see you and I see Mike Samad being two people who can do the job for the taxpayers, regardless of my personal feelings. I publicly endorsed him, and I gave my word to someone that I would publicly endorse him, and I did. On the other hand, DJ Beauregard gave his word that he was going to endorse you. Has he endorsed you yet?
No.
He hasn't. Okay. Well, we're going to give him. He's got another 12 days, right? We'll see if he's going to do. If we're going to see if he's going to do what he promised he was going to do. How do you work with a mayor going forward if he gave his word to endorse you and he doesn't?
He gave the word to you, not to me.
He did in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was not to me.
Yeah, but he still gave his word. Like if somebody gave their word to intern girl, and they didn't keep it, it would be hard for me to work with
And I
them.
don't take anything personal. I just go there to do my job and to do what is best for the community.
And he's still Mike.
It's like Mike. When Mike goes to the council, if I make it, I'm going to work with him. Like put everything on, everything behind.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Kristen
exactly.
Maxwell says that I could flirt with her. She's not the kind of liberal woman that I'm not in that category of crazy, she says. So what do you want the public to know? You are on the ballot on November 4th. We want to remind everybody November 4th is very important.
No,
a lot of people forget Election Day, and they ask me a week later, hey, when's the election? November 4th. What do you want people to know about you besides what we've talked about?
My slogan. I want to say that I don't have any political attachment. I don't have any personal agenda. I just care about Methuen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a homeowner. My husband was a veteran. I have been living here for 23 years.
Your husband was a veteran?
Yes.
So what did he serve?
He was in Alaska. He was an airborne, the one that jumped off the plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in the Navy?
It's an Army.
Okay.
The Army, yeah. So I'm not moving out of Methuen, and whatever I do, if it's not for me, it's going to be for the next generation.
You say you're not moving out of Methuen?
I'm not moving
She
out.
said it so fast, it
No.
almost sounded like she said she was.
No, I am not moving out of Methuen. So I've raised my two children here. Both attended public school.
How old are they?
24 and 22.
Okay.
Really?
all right.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
I know,
Thank
right?
you.
For a 20.
I thought she was going to say
Wow.
like 3 and 5.
No.
What's in the water in Methuen?
So I want people to know, that what I'm planning to do is what I believe is best for the community. That I don't have any political attachment, any personal agenda. I don't have any intention to climb the ladder to other positions.
You're not looking to run for mayor someday, state representative.
My focus is here in the city with the constituents. And remember to go and vote on November 4th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I am number 3 on the ballot.
Intern, did you have a question? Because you were doing this.
No, I was showing her what the
Oh,
camera
yeah.
was.
the camera.
So they got the
Okay.
camera.
All right. Okay. So I met your husband at Alejandro's. By the way, that was a great time at Alejandro's
Oh, yeah,
the other night.
it was.
I've been to maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 events now for this campaign.
I didn't know it was there. I would have gone.
I know.
It's a nice
It was
margarita.
right
Place, and
It was right
the
across-
food was great.
She lives right across the street.
Oh, yeah.
The food was good. The food, I wouldn't say it was great. It was good.
I liked it.
The name of the place is
El Potro.
El Potro. It's the former Margaritas.
Yeah.
I was very unhappy with the former Margaritas. I'm hoping that that these people do it right this time. It always seems to be a Mexican place, though, even if it always turns over. But Alejandro had a really good crowd. He had. It wasn't a big crowd like yours, but it was a good crowd. It was kind of like our network of people. It was our people, right? It was the people that are trying really hard to network together to try and make Methuen a better place, that are trying to work together and do things. And then we got to hang around a little bit. I got to meet your husband for the first time, and I was. What is that noise? Oh, it's her phone. Turn your phone off.
I forget. I'm sorry.
And I got a chance to meet him, and I was really kind of surprised. He's not what I expected him to be. What does he think about all of this? You spending a lot of time at meetings, spending time away from him. spending time away from the business and the family and the home and.
He's not in favor of me running, no. And even my kids keep asking, why are you doing this?
I'm still trying to figure out why anybody would step into this.
Yeah, so much drama, a lot of attacks. Do you need to go through that? And I say,
does it bother you when they attack you? Does it?
I'm a human. I have feelings, but a couple of hours maybe, and that's it.
I hate to admit, I feel really vulnerable that I admitted all of that earlier about how much it hurts when people betray you. It's kind of like,
nothing wrong with
because I don't
that.
trust many people because of the business that I'm in. I know most people are scumbags in this business, so I don't trust many people. And
you used a word the other day that I really like to describe those people.
What?
Grifter, something.
Grifters,
Okay,
yeah. So I would imagine if a very hard-shelled person like me can be hurt by that someone like you is not used to all this stuff. I've been doing this a really long time. You haven't. I would imagine it's got to bother you, like on a personal level. It's got to bother you.
It does, I would say, but then I put it, in the past and move on.
That's it? You try to...
forgiveness and acceptance.
Right.
It is what it is. I had a good friend of mine who is a local attorney. He told me, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
I've heard that
why
before.
are you still in the kitchen?
Right.
So it means don't complain, don't call me, that you are depressed, that you feel bad, that they say this, they say that. Just, if you're going to stay, just handle it.
Real quick, I've been following the MBTA zoning issue all over the Massachusetts, the MBTA zoning with the housing. I see what we did in North Andover. It's just so horrible. I see what Methuen's trying to do. It's so horrible, at least to me. I don't know.
What do you mean by that? By horrible?
Well, I see the state coming in and forcing multiple dwelling, low income housing onto communities that are gonna strain the infrastructure, strain the police department, strain the fire department, strain certainly the school department.
That's the concept of MBTA. That was just a change on zoning.
Right, but
it doesn't mean it's going to be built.
Allowing
in papers, let's say, on papers.
So you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the city is allowing on paper to allow the zoning, but
change the zoning,
but you don't think
to be in
that these
compliance.
big developers aren't going to come in and take advantage of that like they always do and build these monstrous 300 people apartment buildings that are all low income and a huge drain on the system?
The thing is that they need to pull a permit, and who issued the permits to build?
I don't know who does.
The
city.
city. So I don't know why people are concerned about that. Oh, developers, more housing. If the city deny the permit, so it's not going to happen.
But doesn't the MBTA zoning bill say that you have to approve the permit, that you have to allow it? I thought that was part of the act.
Yeah. Isn't it? I think
on
so.
that part, I'm gonna pass on that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I love that answer too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into
Right?
it.
Another candidate would have fumbled their way and faked their way through the answer to that question.
I'm not gonna do that.
She's just trying to build like apartments for illegal immigrants once they become citizens. Am I lying?
Well, let me ask you. Well, listen, you brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up. What are your thoughts on that? On the whole illegal immigrant thing?
You mean the deportation?
Yeah, well, but the deportation, the fact that the governor spent $1 billion to put illegal aliens in hotels while we have American citizens sleeping. A year. While we have American citizens sleeping.
And now she's
streets.
complaining that there's not going to be any SNAP benefits. Those $1 billion could have helped.
100%.
So we're talking previously about me working with Mike Simar. We went twice to the Days Inn when they have the shelter there.
That was a nightmare for you guys.
It was a nightmare, but as a city councilor, there was not much that he could do at that time. And regarding the deportation, I am an immigrant or a migrant. I don't know what is the correct term here. Immigrant.
But you came here legally.
I did.
Okay.
And my brother and sister waited 15 years and 6 months to go to the legal process.
I waited 7 years.
And that's what I said. Let's go to the line.
And we paid a lot. We paid a lot of money.
A lot of fees. Exactly. A lot of fees. And vaccines, the x-ray, all this and that. Yeah.
So I'm a racist because I want people to come here the right way. And I'm a misogynist, obviously, because I say things about women. But here's two women who both came here, who both immigrants, who want immigrants to come here the right way
the right way.
And how do they call you racist? Like, they call me racist because I'm white when I say it. You guys say the exact, and I had no idea what your answer was when they asked the question.
And I agree, if you committed a crime, you should be sent back.
Right.
Because we're here to work and,
100%. 100%.
Things right. Yep.
And I think DJ Beauregard feels the same way you do. I want to give him credit. I think he does. I think he feels the same way that you do. We didn't see him at the No Kings rally the way he saw Barbara Stoller or whatever her name is.
He wasn't at the. Oh, okay. He got points with me.
There.
He got points with me. Who wasn't there?
Listen, I'm 50-50 with him, and people don't believe me when I say it. I really am 50-50 with him. 50% of the time, I want to strangle the shit out of him, and then the other 50% of the time, I want to put a bumper sticker on my car that says DJ Beauregard. And it just depends on what the issue is, and maybe that's going to be his success. Maybe at the end of the day, when he finally finds his lane and he finally finds his groove and he knows where he wants to go, maybe that's going to be his success. That people like me, I'm a right-wing lunatic, right? I'm as far right as you can get on almost every issue. But I still love 50% of what he does and hate the other 50. So I would imagine that the Barbara Stollers of the world, who's a left-wing lunatic, probably feels the same way. She probably loves 50% of what he does and hates the other 50%.
He can't keep everyone happy, I guess.
That's
right?
true.
That's true.
Yeah.
When you become an elected official, and can you talk about it real quick? Because we still have a few minutes. When you become an elected official, every time you make a decision, you piss somebody off. Do you get a lot of response? Do you get a lot of emails or phone calls from people unhappy or even happy? Well, I know most people don't call when they're happy.
The time that I get that my email was flooded was with the purchase of the Cyril estate because I was a no vote.
You were a no vote. And
Yeah.
so who were you hearing from? Were they regular constituents, business owners?
Constituents, yeah, constituents, not business owner, constituents, yeah.
That's weird because and I'm not in Methuen, so I don't know, but I would think that the average person wouldn't care. And if they did, I would think that they would be against spending all that kind of money on it. So you were getting calls from people who were for the Searles purchase.
For the sales, yeah. That why no.
Do you think that was drummed up by the Sharon Pollard crew, or is
I
that?
can't attest to that. I don't
No?
know. I don't know. Could be, but I don't know.
Because Sharon's actually right about some things,
yeah.
and
They went to the meeting. It was full,
Right.
the room. Yeah,
I would
yeah,
love
yeah.
to have Sharon on the show. Oh my God. That would be the funniest fucking show ever. That would be the funniest. That would be funnier than having Willie Lantigua here. I would love to have her on the show and just pick her brain about the Searles. And she's very big on historical properties. And there are people who hate on Brian who think Brian can do no wrong. There are people that hate on Sharon. They think Sharon can do no wrong. The Jim McCartys of the world and those people. But I think human beings are much more complex. People hate on Trump the same way. They think he puts his socks on wrong in the morning and he drinks his coffee wrong. But people are much more complex. And I think Sharon has done a tremendous thing for the community in advocating for historical preservation. I was never really a historical preservation guy till I became older. And then when you get older, you kind of, I think, get a little bit wiser and you realize how important those things are. And I know that she's very heavy-handed with her politics. I know she's very much a partisan. She's not a left-wing lunatic. She's just a partisan lunatic. Like, if you don't go check every single box that the Democrat Party tells you, if the Democrat Party's position tomorrow is to blow up schools with children in it, she would hate you if you didn't agree with them, no matter what it was. And I know it's a slight exaggeration, but only a slight exaggeration. I'd love to have her on because I'm really interested in what she thinks, and maybe if you want to elaborate more, what you think about this whole Searles thing. Should we be flipping that property? Should the city be maintaining it? And if we flip
I've
it,
never even been there.
does it become housing? What do you do? Do you turn it into a museum?
It's just
a shelter?
What is the plan?
To keep it, it's a lot of money. So if it was me, if you asked me, I would say let's preserve the historic park. Let's subdivide it. Let's do maybe a boutique hotel that we don't have one in the city. Do we have a hotel in Methuen? No.
No, not a real one that I know of.
No. Maybe an assisted living facility like the one that Councilor Capignon lives.
Oh,
so
right,
nice.
like
But
Methuen Village.
That is not going to impact a school because they have no kids.
Right.
The traffic, they don't drive. So that was me. If you asked me, that's what I'll do. Then with the historic site, let's do the museum, let's do the venue, maybe some studios for artists, local artists.
Okay.
Yeah, that they need to go and rent somewhere else because we don't have spaces.
Or how about just
for
sell
them.
it and let the private market decide? Like, let them.
It's right next to a school too, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yes.
that a little tricky to
Well, how about
with what
just
you can do?
Why don't we turn it into a school?
Well, there's already the Notre Dame right next door.
Right,
Across the street
right,
is
right,
St.
right.
Monica's. I think it would be a little bit of a...
Right.
The thing
Can the
is,
Catholics buy it?
and it's a lot of work. 10 to 12 million just to renovate
Catholics have
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
they have
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Archdiocese of Boston. Shout out
Yep.
to them.
I don't ever want this interview to end, so I'm just trying to find other things that I can ask her to keep her here. I appreciate what you do. I don't always agree with it. I certainly do not always agree with it.
But you should tell me.
Well, the thing is,
Because I want to hear the feedback.
we've never really, up until this election, had a chance to sit
That's
down,
true.
right?
That's true.
And so I think,
I was afraid of you, of your mouth.
tell me why.
Your mouth, because you have a big mouth. And you attack people. And
Well,
I say, oh my God.
But I attack people that deserve it. Like, I'm attacking people.
Yeah, but I was afraid of you.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. Yeah?
Were people
Until
warning?
what?
Were
3
people
months ago?
warning you about me? Was that part of it? Where they say,
Oh,
"Be
no,
careful,
no.
Tommy's mean"?
No, not at all. But I follow you.
You follow me on Facebook,
Yeah,
and that scared you.
Yeah. Since
Okay.
Barbara and Carrero back in the days.
Oh yes, Barbara Gonzalez. We just talked about that the other day. Barbara Gonzalez and Ralph Guerrero.
Yeah.
So you were working with who at the time?
No, I had a real estate company on Essex Street, Garcia Valley and Associates. Do you
Okay.
remember Alfonso Garcia?
Jose Alfonso Garcia.
Yeah, we are partners. We are
no
partners.
kidding.
Yeah.
Are you still friends?
Yeah, but he
I
moved
love
to
that.
Florida. He lives in
I
Florida
love
now.
that guy.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that guy.
Yeah.
A couple of times we were on opposite ends of things, and I got very vicious with him.
And he was so involved in politics back then. Yeah.
But only because he was very vicious, I think, at the beginning. So I always try to meet people at the level that they're at. And as soon as I got vicious with him, he de-escalated immediately because he remembers how good of friends we used to be. And he had such a great radio voice. Is Jose Alfonso Garcia. What a great guy. So you worked with him, and you knew the whole. Were you on the Ralph side or the Barbara Gonzalez side
No,
back
I
then?
was just saying the dynamic and reading and following
Not
you.
touching that one
Yeah.
for a million years. Okay, one more thing, and then we're gonna go. So when you're on the city council, you have to vote on the school budget, and this is one of my big pet peeves with the city councilors. You have to vote on the school budget, but nobody ever holds the school committee accountable for the spending that they do. So we got a good window this year into the crap that they're pushing on our kids. We got a good window with this audit that you were, by the way, stellar on with this audit. We got a really good window into the fact that the political promotions, the horrible way that the superintendent has been managing the schools, the fact that we have some teachers who are very heroic in the way that they try to mentor these kids and educate these kids. But you also have a lot of other teachers that are really more interested in talking about how Donald Trump is a fascist and transgender bathrooms and all that other crap. And yet at the end of the day, fewer and fewer kids graduate from Methuen High School being able to read at grade level. Fewer and fewer kids can get into a four-year college. Fewer and fewer kids can do math in their head, know the Constitution. Why isn't the city council holding the schools accountable for results when you continually increase their fund? Like, if I had a business and I kept asking the bank to give me more money or my investors to give me more money, they would, you're in the private sector, they'd say, well, where are the results? Like, you have worse and worse results every year, but you're asking for more and more money. I want the council to be more proactive in that school budget and not be told, well, that's the school committee's job, it's not you.
I think a finance audit is needed here.
Yeah?
That's one. And another thing is to work together, like both parties, because right now they are on their side and we're on our lane. Like having joint meetings.
I love that joint meeting. I thought that was great for the
maybe
public.
once a month, every 2 months.
What did you think of that audit? What did you
great.
think of that?
We don't know yet. So once, I guess the first one was sent back because of the technicality of the language.
No, what they did was they redacted people's names like Mayor Brian DePena.
I was told because the technicality of the language.
Yeah,
So
no, it was the
they-
technicality of them taking names out.
So they
That was
wanted,
the technicality that they
provide
had.
the report.
But you got the report, though, didn't you? Didn't
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
the actual report? And then you had that kind of half meeting. What did you think of all that? Like, what are your thoughts?
That something has to be done about the bullying, the literacy rate, the condition of the infrastructure. We get complaints like every single day about water, mice, all
I'd
kinds of
love to
things
see you
going on.
guys say I'm not voting for this budget
Yeah.
until I see results. Or I'm going to pass this budget, but if you don't bring me results in 2 years, then you're not getting more money. Like, I'd love to see that. Like, every year the city says, or every few years the city says to the schools, we're not going to give you money. And all these kids come up with the teachers behind them, like puppets. The teachers have their hands in their back going, I love my teacher, Mrs. Smith. And if you get rid of her, she's the greatest teacher I ever had. She taught me how to read. She stayed with me after school and she taught me how to knit, and this the greatest teacher I ever had, changed my life. And they always do this for the more money, but they never do it. you see they all got together to push a perverted book on kids. They all got together to rally around that book. They all get together to rally around funding for the teachers union. But they never get together to rally about, I don't know, increased test scores. Well, why aren't we teaching kids to read at grade level? Why do these kids graduate not knowing the Constitution? They never rally for anything academic that actually benefits the kids. It's always this other external stuff. And I look at the city council as like our last, because DJ's hopeless when it comes to the schools. Just write him off. There's just no way you're going to get anything out of him. But the city council could. The city council could say, hey, you know what? We're the last gap. We're the last stopgap measure, and we're not doing this anymore. Bring us better results in 2 years or next year, or we're not voting for this anymore. Like, we're going to start cutting your budget, and you're going to start taking a hit unless you perform. Because I know when I say to one of my drivers, listen, you've been screwing up driving around Methuen or Haverhill or whatever, and I'm going to give you a smaller and smaller route, which means you're going to get less and less money every month until you. They shape up right away. Like, all of a sudden, they're putting the papers the way they're supposed to. They're showing up on time. You know, they're finishing when they're supposed to. They're putting the papers in the rack the right way. And I think the schools need to be treated the same way. I'd love to see you be one champion. Accountability, absolutely.
Accountability. But I think the joint meeting will be beneficial for this.
When is that happening?
Maybe with the new council.
So in January?
In January.
Wow.
Right now we are. I know the chair is working on a joint meeting to review the audit results again, like the second meeting. But I mean, like, joint meetings from now on. Like, let's meet
Quarterly, maybe?
Quarterly, yes, and let's see. Bring your issues. Let me see what it is. How can we fix it? What can we do to prevent the same thing to happen when
Did
the
your
budget
kids go
time
through the
comes?
Methuen schools? Did they come up through the Methuen schools?
They went to March.
They did, okay.
Yeah,
All
both.
right.
Yeah,
Would
both.
would you have tolerated what's going on now as a parent if this was going on and your kids were in the schools now?
You mean by the literacy rate? The literacy rate,
The way they're not dealing with bullies, the way they're not dealing with discipline.
I think the parents should advocate for the kids because if it happened to mine, I will be in public participation.
Well, wait a minute.
In every single meeting.
You know what Dan Shabilia said at the last meeting. I don't know if anybody caught it.
No, what did he say?
But he said we need to make sure we don't get on a slippery slope of parental control in our schools.
Oh, yeah. I got.
He thinks parental control in the schools is bad.
What?
He said,
School is a triangle.
and I quote, he said, and I'm getting it word for word, we have to be careful we don't go down a slippery slope of parental control of our schools. That's what he said. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch that meeting.
Parents have the right to advocate for their kids.
100%.
If they don't do it, who's going to do it?
The schools that perform best are the ones where parents are more involved.
You're
exactly.
a Methuen resident. Before we go, do you
Exactly.
have any questions for our Methuen council
No,
candidate?
I think she did a great job. Thank you
thank
for being
you.
here.
I
I'm really
appreciate
happy to
that.
hear you're Dominican like myself.
Thank
Yo
you.
soy de la capital.
De la capital.
Sí, dominicana. De
I-
Santo
Nice.
Domingo.
Nice.
Sí.
Sí,
Sí,
señor.
I go into my Speedy Gonzalez mode, right? Even though he's Mexican, I don't know. It's all the same to us white people, right?
Maria says hi. Maria Figueroa. She says hi,
Oh,
Patricia.
hi, Maria.
We
She's
love
so
her. She
sweet.
has to
We
get
love her.
elected.
We love her.
She has to get elected.
Oh, yeah. She's really good.
Oh,
She's
so it
going to do a
says-
great job.
Francisco Cirillo says no. The MBTA law does not state that you have to approve permits.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Frank.
Always good to know.
Good to know.
I'm going to be, I don't know if you're going to be, I know you're trying to stay out of Lawrence because people are criticizing you for
Yeah,
it.
I don't want
But I'm going to be,
I have PTSD every time someone says Lawrence. No, seriously. I don't even go to Lawrence. I take the highway to go.
Oh,
to
Really?
the other
it's
end
too
of-
bad.
Yeah.
But as a homeowner in Lawrence,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
What are
yeah.
your thoughts on Brian's job? No?
No, that's hot.
she's not going.
I'm good. I
could've
gotta
told
go.
you.
I have another meeting. I gotta go.
I could have told you she wasn't going to go anywhere near that one.
Yep.
I'm going to be tonight at Mama Wana. Mama Wana Restaurant Lounge, 118 South Union Street from 6:30 to 9. I might even be there a little later. And I know all my friends that are helping Brian DePena are going to be really furious about this. But one of my very good friends, and this is going to shock even intern girl, that
I know who it is already.
one of my very good friends is someone that you would think would never in a million years be friends with me, and that's Jonathan Guzman on the Lawrence
Isn't he
School
like the
Committee.
Dan Shabilia of Lawrence? A
He-
little bit?
No, he's actually smart. Like
He is a smart guy.
he might be a hater when it comes to Brian and his team.
But he's doing such a great job at the school committee.
He and I don't see eye to
Why
eye
you say
on
no?
really anything. But he's a good friend.
I don't like the liberal stuff. I think there's better things
Yeah,
to focus
it's all
on.
it's all the sexual stuff in the schools.
Lawrence doesn't even have they don't even have control of their schools. What's
Right.
happening with that?
Right.
Where's the route for that? Why aren't you advocating for that? Why are you advocating for other things I don't see importance in?
But
You know
I
what mean?
love Jonathan Guzman, even though we agree on almost nothing. But I love, and it's true. Listen, He's as far left. He thinks Elizabeth Warren's too conservative. But I love him as a human being because he truly cares about the community. And I know that if tonight my car broke down in Connecticut somewhere, and I called him on the phone and said, I can't reach anybody else. I really need a ride home. He would drop what he was doing and he would drive to Connecticut to come pick me up. And that's the kind of person that in the community will drop everything to help somebody in need. And I think there's a value to that, even though, again, I don't agree with him literally on anything. We don't agree on the racial stuff. We didn't agree on the sexual stuff. We didn't agree on all the political stuff in the schools, diversity, equity, inclusion. We totally disagree on all of it. However, he's a really good person. He's a good human being. And I know that the people who he is hating on, which is the DePena administration, don't see him that way. I wish that they would. And I wish that he would maybe come to the table a little bit with them too, because I love both sides. I'm friends with Manny. I'm friends with Brian. I'm friends with Jonathan Guzman. And I really think that, we ought to be able to show the community that a right-wing Trump-supporting lunatic like me and a left-wing guy who thinks Elizabeth Warren's too conservative and Bernie Sanders is too conservative like Jonathan Guzman can come together and we can work together and we can still be friends and not hate on each other. I just think
it's not hate. I just don't agree with what he does. I'm not saying
no,
anything
I know.
personally.
It wasn't a reflection on you, intern girl.
Okay, I took it personally.
These women always take everything.
Everything. It's all about me.
It's all about you. By the way, the cutest kid in the world. He's just so cute back there, Alejandro.
So well behaved.
He's gonna have fun with his new truck tonight.
Yes, he is.
When he gets home. All right, I think that's it. It's last words. How can anybody get in touch with you? Can they contact you? Can they make a donation?
Ask them to vote for you.
Hold a sign for you on election day. Do you have signs to be held
that
on
would be great.
day?
Yeah.
She needs volunteers. She doesn't have any volunteers.
Yeah. I don't have any volunteers.
Unlike
no.
Dan Shabilia, she doesn't have the teachers union shilling for her the way he does. So yeah, anything that people need to know about you and how they can get in touch with you, how can they make a donation?
If you'd like to volunteer on my campaign, you can reach out at 978-273-8122, 978-273-8122. And please, I would love to count on your support on November 4th, and I am number 3 on the ballot.
All right, give the phone number again so Intringo can put it in the feed.
978-273-8122.
And do you have a website?
I do www.patriciavalley.com.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to meet your husband.
Oh,
He and I should hang out more.
I know. I told you that I was afraid of that you guys get along so good.
It's funny. Kristen Maxwell said the same thing.
Yeah.
She started off saying, you really need to meet my husband. You guys think so much alike. And by the time we were done meeting, she's like, I don't think I like this at all. I don't think so at all. So next week, we are going to have, sitting here, believe it or not, I'm not making this up, DJ Beauregard, Mayor of Methuen, is going to be here with he's Batman, and his Robin is going to be Juan Manny Gonzalez, candidate for the mayor of the city of...
I think I'm sick next week.
For the city
I'm
of
not
Lawrence.
playing.
And that's next Thursday. That's going to be an interesting show because they're endorsing each other. They're working together. They have the same campaign manager. They think a lot alike on a lot of things, but they have two very different communities. And I'm really kind of interested in seeing, how the thought process is with these two guys and what the dynamic is between the two of them. Because knowing the two of them the way that I do, it really kind of seems impossible that they would ever be friends in any way. But the fact that they are and they're working together is kind of fascinating to me. So that's going to be next Thursday at 2 o'clock. But Tuesday next week at 7 p.m., we have all 6 of the city council candidates, even though one of them isn't sure if it's worth coming. And I'm only breaking his chops because it got back to me that he made a comment, is this worth going to? A Tom Duggan debate is always worth coming to. So you're going to have Jana Zani-Pesci. You're going to have Wanda Santos.
It's going to be interesting.
You're going to have Ryan DeZoglio. I want to make sure I get them all off the top of my head. Jim Sassioni, Frank Cirillo, and John Drew. You're going to have all 6 candidates. 3 of them are going, that's good. 3 of them are going to get elected. 3 of them are not going to get elected. By the way, in most, you can leave that up, most city council candidates, most city council races at large, you've at least got 1 or 2 people that everyone's looking to make sure they don't win, right? You've always got 1 or 2 candidates that suck. This year, you've got 6 people that are really, really good people. They're qualified people. They care about the community. There's literally no infighting and there's no backbiting among any of these 6 candidates. They're all decent, honest, God-fearing, good people. You can pull it down, and they all are running on a platform that's good for Methuen, which makes it very, very hard, I think, for the voters to look at that list and go, wow, like, who do I vote for? Usually you do by process of elimination. Like in the in the Central, you go, yeah, well, we can't vote for Luann because she's not committed. We can't vote for Sharon Burchell because she's a criminal. So I guess we're going to go with the other 2, right? You do it by process of elimination. In the West End, you're going to look at Patricia Valley. We want to vote for her. And then you got the other 2, and you go, well, which one's going to win? So who do I go for? And I think most people are going to go with Mike Samad because he's been there before. He's qualified. He's competent. He knows how to do the job. Most people do by process of elimination, I guess is my point. But when you look at those 6 candidates, very hard to eliminate anybody. Very hard. I wish I could do all 6 of them because they're all doing, I think, even Frank Cirillo, who I never thought would do a good job. And I'm just going to be honest. I never thought he'd do a good. I like him as a person, but I didn't think being a Methuen council would be his thing. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job. Yeah. And I think Jane is doing a great job. And I think Jim Sascione, who ran for mayor, would do a great job. We certainly need some conservatives on that city council.
Wait, he's a conservative?
He's a conservative.
Oh, he got my vote. That's my 3rd vote.
You have Juan DeSantos, who's really working very hard to represent everyone in the community, not just one particular group. So you got Ryan, who really I think is a great kid. Really, when you look at Jana and all these people, it's very hard. Very seldom do you see a crop of candidates where you could just eliminate somebody right out of the gate and go, okay, well, we'll eliminate that guy. Now who's left? All 6 candidates are good candidates. So it's going to be this is going to be a real debate, and we're going to leave with this. There's going to be a real debate, just like if you go on YouTube and you find Facebook deleted all our videos because Facebook had that in the thing.
30 days, yeah.
But if you go on YouTube, you can find all my debates with Neil Perry and Jen Kinnan, all the council candidates with Ali Safi.
I wouldn't tell them to watch it. I would just wait for them, just be here, watch it on Tuesday.
Well,
this is going to be
I'm talking to the candidates. I want them to watch the old debates.
Cameras. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be nice.
Show them on the intern camera.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Where's
the intern
my
girl cam.
Oh, I don't look that nice today.
Oh, please. Jesus Christ.
Right here.
These women.
Look at these cameras.
Yeah, they're huge, right? We already have the setup. Nice. You can't see it behind the monitors, but
it's not ready.
We already have the setup for next Tuesday. We're already got it set up. And so if you watch the old debates that I did 2 years ago, 4 years ago, what you find is that these are real debates. They're not forums. I'm not going to say, what do you think about war and peace? You've got 1 minute, right? It's going to be, what do you think about the Searles building? I'm going to let you guys talk to each other, and I'm just going to let them go. And I'm not going to interject at all. I'm not going to ask follow-up questions unless it really needs to be. And I want them to talk to each other, and I want the people at home to see how do they handle disagreement, how do they handle agreement, who talks too much, who doesn't talk enough, and let them see not just what people think, but how they think.
Can we make it a little, can we have some questions too, personal questions? I saw the one in New York for the mayor one. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't see it.
Sliwa, I think, the communists, and Como.
Yep.
And they asked some questions like, oh, what do you get at the New York deli, or just fun.
No, I hate those questions.
I like those. I'm gonna have one.
You can have one.
It has to be related though, relatable to Methuen. That's what.
Yeah, we can also what's your favorite restaurant to eat at Methuen? Like mine is Jocelyn's.
Yeah.
Right. We can maybe ask them that. I know some people like to eat lunch at Pirelli's or. Yeah, I don't mind doing something like that.
Yeah, something relatable.
I will give you guys a hint. You'd better be reading the Valley Patriot because there's going to be a couple of questions about the Valley Patriot.
You're going to test
questions.
them?
Well, there are things that I've written about that I've specifically said in those stories that I really wish candidates would care more about these things. And if they don't read the paper, a lot of elected officials only read the paper when their name's in it, and then they only read the story that their names are in. And that's not someone that's a good public servant because you need to be reading what's going on in your community, even when it has nothing to do with you.
To be informed.
So,
or you can cheat and do Control F, which means Control Find. You download a PDF and then you just write down some keywords like Methuen. Just read anything that says Methuen.
Yeah, but I didn't use the word Methuen. It was.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. No. Not for the one I'm talking about. My very first question is
We'll
going to
just
be
go
about
over
something
the
I wrote
list of
about.
everyone who is,
So-
sitting in a political position in Methuen, and you search them up.
No,
You're
that's
welcome,
not going to help
everyone.
either. All right, let's thank our sponsors. Let's get poor Patricia. She's actually going to be here for an hour. She's been here for 2. And I appreciate the NCAM for every week letting us go over and not trying to charge us.
They like us here.
It's so crazy that they do, because you would think that these guys would hate us, like given our political positions and how much trouble we make here in the studio, and how many elected officials that we infuriate here in North
Maybe
Andover.
because we don't do we? In North Andover? We don't really
Do you know
attack
how many
them.
left-wing nutcases there are in this town, in North
In North
Andover?
Andover?
When I moved here in the year 2000, we were 70% Republican. Now we're 25% Republican.
No way.
Yes.
Can we dig into Andover? Well, that will be next year, right? Elections.
The North Andover elections are in the spring, so it's coming up.
Okay.
Right
Nice.
after the Lawrence elections.
All right.
And hi to the future Mrs. Doug and Janilda. Keep saying Janilda because I'm white, but it's Janilda. Santos.
Janilda.
She says Patricia is amazing.
Sí.
Si, senor. Mr. Pussycat, would you like to be the big mouse for dinner? All right, let's take our sponsors. Century 21 McLennan Real Estate. You can roll up mail. There you go. Oh, I forgot the notary. So when that one comes around, please just say it out loud, because I forgot to say it out loud. Another new sponsor. Century 21 McLennan Real Estate. The Zany Pesciolino Law Office. Marston & Son Construction. EIS. Investigation and Gun Training. Total Mortgage. Our buddy Marie Thibodeau. Clear Path for Veterans New England. Pleasant Valley Landscaping Contractors. W3ON Stadium Chiropractic. Lambert and Rendon Law Office. 4-Star Lighting. And all of our candidates to have over here somewhere on a different list.
We also have serving the Merrimack Valley on the Go Notary.
On the Go Notary, my
Mary
computer.
Ellen Khalil, 978-815-1305.
And my computer's frozen, so I'm going to do it off the top of my head. Ryan DeZoglio, Wanda Santos, John Drew, Luis Robles, Frank Cirillo, the Labor's Union Local 175, Jim Sarcione. Who did I leave out? I know.
Jana
Zany Pesci. I left out somebody else. I know I did, but we just
John
showed them on the
Drew.
screen.
Wanda Santos.
Wanda Santos.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's the end of there it is.
It was so.
You can't end the show without Mel, right? You can't have that. She's running out of the studio. She can't
I
get away
know.
from me fast enough.
We got her in trouble.
She's had enough.
Did we get you in trouble?
She's had enough. No?
It's fine. Okay.
All right, very good. Who else did we? I know we forgot somebody.
So everyone, 7 p.m. on
Tuesday.
28th.
And
We
then-
gotta be here at 6.
Yes. And I'm trying to schedule one more show before the end. I'm going to try and schedule one more. If we get enough sponsors, I will.
Okay.
And I think that we will. I think we can get maybe one more sponsor in. And then I'll see you guys tonight at Mama Juana's at 6:30 for my good buddy Jonathan Guzman.
That's it?
At 6:30 to 8. I guess that's it. Say goodbye to Alejandro.
Bye.
And Mo
everyone.
Taylor says you got to go home, and Frank Cirillo's the one we missed. Come on over real quick.
He wants to go home.
That's my buddy. Say, go home, everybody. Say, go home, everybody. His shirt was invisible.